Let's go to the Vikings now. So the Vikings went 13-4 last year. They went and lost to the Giants in the wild card game. That was an upset. Uh, some notable losses this year. Dalvin Cook, he's still a free agent. Adam Thielen, Dalvin Tomlinson, Zadarius Smith, Eric Kendricks, Patrick Peterson, Cameron Dantzler. They added Jordan Addison, Dean Lowry, Marcus Davenport, Byron Murphy Jr., and Mekhi Blackman. Their strength of schedule last year was 20th, and this year it's slightly harder. They're tied for 18th, but not too much to make a huge difference. What do we think about the Vikings?
It's between, like we said earlier, it's between them and Detroit. And I I don't know. I mean, I was always big on Dalvin Cook, and I'm kind of surprised that they just let him, walk on out. I mean, I know he's had some injuries and stuff like that, but I think them losing a couple key veteran guys might be the reason why they don't win the division this year. Right now I have both them and Detroit going 10-7, and Detroit having the head to head and giving Detroit the division. So I really think, them losing. I mean, because they lost, what do we say, Cook, Thielen, Kendricks. I mean, those are some big guys, and all three of them were captains, I believe. So I mean, those are three big losses. And yeah, I think they'll have another winning season. They'll probably get a wild card spot, but um, I don't know, man. Y'all made me buy into that Detroit team earlier, so that's where I'm at with them.
I believe they will definitely take a step back because their defense last year already wasn't great. And then losing those big names on defense that they did, Kendricks, Peterson, Smith, I just, their defense worries me. And Kirk Cousins kind of worries me on the offensive side. But
Yeah.
with Justin Jefferson, I feel like you can just lob it up and he'll somehow come down with it.
Yeah, look at the Bills game from last year.
Yeah, it was a great catch.
Stop it.
I feel like I feel like I see that every single all day on NFL Network, Sports Center, or something. They're always bringing up the game or the play.
How
It
come
was
it's
a great
always against the
catch.
Bills too? Every play is against the. You got the Hopkins catch. You got Jefferson. I mean, just stop it already.
Yeah, Vikings, I was very critical. Man, I understand like I understand getting rid of Dalvin. I did like Dalvin Cook. I was starting to be like, yeah, this guy's top five possibly a top five running back in the league. Um, losing Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen's always been just that clutch target. Adam Thielen is a guy he should have spent his whole time with the Vikings, just because he's someone that any quarterback that's there can depend on. When this team is only winning one game on the year, Thielen could be dependable. When this game's with this team's winning 15 wins on the year, Thielen's going to be dependable no matter what. They lose a Darius Smith, Patrick Peterson, Eric Kendricks. What were they thinking going into this offseason? I get all right. So you replace Thielen with Jordan Addison. I think I had Jordan Addison as the best receiver in the class. I think this whole class was overhyped at the receiver position. I didn't. I had a first round grade only on Addison. Um, Marcus Davenport is not good. He's not good. So I put him in the notable additions, but he can't even stay on the field. Byron Murphy, I guess that's a nice replacement for Pat Pete, but we saw what happened with the Cardinals last year. So when they got rid of Pat Pete and they let Byron Murphy cover the ones, doesn't work all that well. Um, I feel like very different from Detroit. Instead of Detroit was so bad that on defense that they had to retool the whole defense. The Vikings still was somehow managed 10 plus wins on the year, or even with that terrible defense. Um, what they had more points allowed than they had points scored. Like that's awful. Um, I don't know how this team wins 10 games. Like I on the offensive side, I can see it. On the offensive side, I can see it. The defensive side, that defense is horrendous. I wouldn't be shocked if that's one of the worst defenses in the entire league. Kirk Cousins is This is why I put him in the average tier when I was doing my QB rate rankings, just because um he does like you can say he had a better year last year than he had years past, but honestly, numbers wise, he really didn't. Um, Justin Jefferson's always going to be Justin Jefferson. But Kirk Cousins is going to put up the same numbers. You're going to finish. You're not going to win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. You're not going to go to the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins at quarterback because he's just an average quarterback at the end of the day.
What if it's
That's
a
not
4 o'clock Super Bowl time though?
maybe. Um, but he's just gonna he's not gonna he's gonna get the job done, but to a point. Whoever he's gonna be playing, like they lost to the Giants. They lost. Who knows what the Eagles would have done to the Vikings if the Eagles played the Vikings? Who knows what the Niners would have done to the Vikings if the Niners played the Vikings? Um, I don't trust this team. This is the one of the least trustworthy teams in the entire league. So I don't know. They're definitely gonna win 10 games, but I don't know where. I don't know where in their schedule they're gonna do it. So, any
four
final
o'clock
words on
games.
the
That's
Vikings?
where they're going to get them.
Yeah, 4 o'clock games.
It's not prime time. Then you're out. But